But I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Is there anything I should know before we begin? Does anyone have anything to admit or tell me? Hey, he's losing a lot of blood. Are you sure it's a good idea just to leave him? Of course not. We can't get back to the end vehicle while all of those guards are around. But we can at least. It'll be fine. We'll just keep him covered. Hey, help me move those crates. ... You want to be squished under my feet? I feel like slipping in and out of consciousness. Where am I? I can't... Oh, why can't I open my eyes? Hey, don't worry. You'll be okay. Who? Shh, just rest. We'll be back soon. I can feel him lift my head and wrap something tight around it before placing something soft between me and the wall behind me. That'll have to do for first aid. Okay, let's move out. Right. Wait, where are you going? Where? Oh. Something hard hits my forehead, causing me to jerk my head up. Professor, if my lectures are so boring, feel free to leave. Oh, that's happened to me before. I look at my desk. He threw a chalk stick at me. We're on the third row of the lecture hall, too. I don't know if I should be impressed or annoyed. Maybe I'm a little bit of both. Sorry, sir. I must have dozed off. I don't need you to tell me that. As a doctor, I'd hope not. I mutter to myself. What was that? Nothing. And with that, my professor scoffs and turns back toward the board, pulling a new stick of chalk from the box. Thank you for the head pat, Snashimori. What a geezer. Okay, we've got some options at the bottom now. Chapter 1, Freedom. I pick up the bit he threw at me. If I had some more confidence in my aim, I'd throw it right back at him. Hey, I know what you're thinking. I turn to my right, to Diana. You always seem to. Oh, she's not furry. Oh, there's not furry people in this world. It's not worth it. I know, but you can get back at him by proving yourself on the upcoming tests. Yeah, I forgot about that. The past few nights have been kind of a blur on account of... Were you up practicing again? Maybe. Diana sighs at that, to which I grimace. You know, you've really nailed your impression of my mom. Well, what do you expect? Stay up all night, every night. Who wouldn't be concerned about that? I know. She's right, as much as I don't want to admit it. Sorry. I'm still just adjusting to this new program, and I'm trying to figure out how to weave in my own personal projects. Diana pauses before placing an arm on my shoulder. No. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I shouldn't be nagging at you. At least not this much. I laugh. No, I kind of appreciate it. It shows you care. Well, I'm glad that's coming through. I've always been a bit worried about you. You and me both. At the very least, you seem to be absorbing a lot of the information being thrown at you. It's almost unfair how well you do on the exams with how little you study. It's all thanks to you. You've helped a lot with figuring out my study habits. Clearly not enough. How much sleep did you get last night? Irrelevant. I'm sure. I try to yawn discreetly into my hand, but I guess it wasn't discreet enough as our professor whips around and zeroes in on us. I could feel Diana's arm tense up on my shoulder as if we got caught doing something promiscuous. Something I should be made aware of, you two? Well, Diana stands up. Oh, well, you see, he was just helping me understand the new material about the frontal cortex. I was having trouble wrapping my head around it. She's trying to play it off. Oh, is that so? Diana, I expected better from you. And to not associate with anyone who could drag you down. I feel myself getting heated. Who the hell does this dick think he is? Would the fine gentleman like to stand up and share with the rest of the class? There's some whispers and murmurs across the room, all directed at us. I look in my peripheral. Diana has that, oh, I fucked up look on her face. Still. I stand up. With all due respect, sir, which isn't much. I'm aware you're on tenure, but I don't think it's wise to force your job on unemployed students. Or did you forget how much our tuition costs, along with giving a proper explanation on the frontal cortex? Gasps erupt from the rest of the class. I feel hot in the face, but I'm keeping cool. I can't say the same for our professor. I think he just snapped his stick of chalk in too. I could see him squirm to find some kind of legal retort. Tenure or not, I'm pretty sure throwing shit at me is grounds for removal. Oh. Maybe not, but I'm not going to crack for the likes of him. I shift my hand to my hip. I'm waiting, Professor. Now he's the one looking her in the face, more so out of anger. I bet that's the most blood flow he's gotten in quite a while. He grumbles something insulting under his breath before turning angrily to write with his new, now broken chalk. That's what I thought, asshole. I sit back down and take a deep breath. I'm not cut out for these kind of performances. Neither is Diana. We look at each other, somewhat mortified, before bursting out in laughter. It's thankfully covered by the bell. I help Diana gather her notes. She has a real knack for organized chaos. I guess I've rubbed off on her as well. We make our way out of the lecture hall, still laughing. Hey, Ink! Hello, hello. Thank you for the hug, Honto. Oh no, I don't have the bot up. Hold on, I'll open it. I knew I forgot something. Okay, Hugbot is back. It's up. And we'll do a... Oh, there we go. There's a hug. Thank you for the hug. Oh, no. Oh my god, y'all are on top of each other. Y'all are hugging on top of each other. That's crazy. Glad to see you've been taking notes from Damien. Thanks for the belly poke, Ink. Group hug. Oh yeah? How so? Well, you were a pretty timid guy growing up. I remember having to beat up bullies for you. To be fair, you were pretty good at Kung Fu. Damn right. She shows off a standard kick. I have to admit, I wish I had her coordination. What's your point though? Well, let's see. I'm gonna love the music, I hope so. Well, let's see. How long have you been dating Damien? I think our first anniversary is coming up. Oh, wait, really? I'll need to plan something. Anyways. Wait, don't change the subject. Anyways, as I was saying, you're pretty quiet growing up. Sure, you kind of grew out of it a bit, but once you met him, you started getting, I don't know, more confident? What can I say? He's my better half. I give an exaggerated gay sigh. To which Diana snorts. Aha. Well, he certainly has left an impression on you. I guess being around the star of the college basketball team will do that to you. Oh my god, stop. Someone's gonna hear you. I try to shush her, but she just covers another laugh with her hand. Guess you got some more confidence to build. Besides, weren't you on the Jumbotron together at the end of the last game? I think I'm getting a phone call. Diana crosses her arms as I struggle to pull my phone out. She has a knowing expression on her face. I slide my phone on and hold it to my face. Hello? Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, no, school's going great. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. No, I'm still adjusting to it, but it's going okay. Then my phone starts actually ringing and vibrating in my hand, ruining my attempt at fooling Diana. Who am I kidding? Who'd be fooled by that? I think your phone is ringing. Thank you for telling me. I'll be picking it up now. I give a slightly annoyed huff as I actually go to answer a phone call. I'm dating a jock, I guess so. It's from Damien, and my face immediately brightens. Hello? Oh, Oh, tiger boyfriend. Hey, sorry to call. We're about to head out for our afternoon run and didn't have time to text. I just wanted to know if we're still on for tomorrow night. No worries, and yeah, I'll make sure everything's ready. You make sure to drink plenty of water, okay? Okay, you got it, dude. See you at the cafeteria for dinner? You know it. Love you. Stay safe. Love you too. The exaggerated smooch Damien makes is loud enough for Diana to hear. I almost cringe, but eventually do the same thing for him. Mwah. I can hear him giggle before hanging up. I sigh happily as I stuff my phone in my pocket before turning my attention to Diana. What? You guys are so cute. She's holding her cheek, gushing over us as she usually does. Stop. It's true though. Ah, young love. Diana giggles again, and with that we continue our walk back to our dorm. So, what you got planned for tomorrow? It's a secret. Oh, don't get any ideas. Oh, I would never. I roll my eyes at that before getting my phone out to show something to her. We're going to a show tomorrow. Oh, exciting. Kind of surprised. Didn't know you were into that kind of scene. I'm really not, but Damien was so excited that this band was coming into town, I couldn't say no. I pause. Also, I do want to get out of my comfort zone, even just a little bit. I getcha. Do you guys need a DD? Wouldn't hurt. You sure you wouldn't mind? Not at all. I got tomorrow off. I'll text Damien to let him know. Thanks, Diana. I appreciate it. Of course. We chat about this and that for a little while longer before coming to the split between the dorms. They're not co-ed, so we don't actually live together. Oh, before I forget, do you want to visit the greenhouse this weekend? I don't know. I'll have to see how I'm feeling the next. You're not going to have a 2-day hangover. How about Sunday afternoon? I sigh through my nose. Can't get around it. I have been skimping out on helping Diana the past few weekends while figuring everything out on this side of campus. I'm already hanging out with Damien Friday night, and I do owe her one now. There's really no excuse. Yeah, sure. I'll see you Sunday. Want to meet for lunch, then head over? It's a date. I'll see you then. Yeah, sounds good. We wave to each other as we walk down our respective paths home. As usual, I wave to the dorm mother. As usual, I skip the faulty elevator and take the stairs. As usual, I make my way home into my dorm room. I've only been here about a month, but at least I've got this routine down pat. Being in the master's program has its perks. I call it a dorm room, but it's almost like an apartment, complete with a kitchenette. What's best is I have the place to myself. Well, mostly. Damien spends the night a lot too. I toss my bag on the couch before grabbing a glass of water, promptly chugging it. I'm not used to the summer heat around here. As I strip off my overshirt, I look toward the bathroom. I kind of want to take a shower right now, but decide to do it at my usual time, right before bed. I sleep better that way. I say that, but I'm gearing up for my afternoon nap without any distractions. Stripping? Yeah, we gotta strip to take a nap. I plug in my phone, briefly lighting up the pic of Damien holding me up from behind as I flail in his grasp. I smile at it before flopping face first into my squishy pillow, not even bothering to pull over the blanket. It's still a bit too hot for that. My eyelids start to get heavy, and I fall asleep for my afternoon nap. You want to stay longer, but you gotta go? Bye, Nashimori. Yeah, Fox Coffin, yeah. My eyelids start to get heavy, and I fall asleep for my afternoon nap. You what to go? What? Yeah. There's a strange ringing in my head. It's quiet, but just loud enough that I can't ignore it. I'm having trouble opening my eyes. How long was I out? It almost feels like a headache, but it's concentrated only in the back. Lifting my arm is a struggle too. Wait, am I sitting? A groan escapes my dry throat. How long have I been sitting like this? With all my might, I lift my hands up to my face and try to rub my eyes with my palm. Wait, what is this? What is all of this I'm feeling? I pull out and it tugs on my scalp. Or I pull it and it tugs on my scalp. It's my hair. I'm not lucid enough to panic quite yet. Here we go, the story starts. Or maybe I am and this is just a weird dream. In any case, after some more rubbing, I managed to crack my eyes open. Oh, spooky. I'm sitting in an alleyway I've never seen before. Even moving my eyes to look around is a struggle at first. I just woke up, but I already feel exhausted. I take a few breaths, which is something alarming. Somewhat alarming. I thought you couldn't breathe in dreams. Regardless, little by little, I start moving what I can. I can wiggle my toes and move my arm. I kind of need to move them, as my hair is getting in the way of my vision. I can hold my bangs down to nearly my sternum. The length isn't what's most concerning, though. It's the fact that my hair is almost an unnatural shade of white. That aside, I try and feel around. I'm against a wall, and my next goal is to try and stand up. My joints pop like mad. Seriously, how long have I been sitting here like? It should not be this hard just to stand up. My knees are trimmed. Nearly hugging the wall with my side, I managed to stand up, albeit quite hunched over. Something slides off me, but before I can look down to see what it is, I start to stumble. I jerk a bit as a wave of disorientation washes over me. My vision blurs, I can see stars, I feel dizzy, and I can't keep my breathing steady. It doesn't hurt, nothing does. Not even the sudden upchuck of stomach acid I expel onto the ground below me. I clutch my stomach as I fall to my knees, breathing erratic. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, but I feel like it should. I'm more confused than scared. I don't have enough time to process what little information I have as I throw up whatever was left in my stomach. It just smells like acid. And just like that, I'm back to sitting against the wall. I shut my eyes, but I can still see colors swirling around the inside of my eyelids. Without any strength, I just sit there and pant. The taste of my stomach fluid still comes up from my throat with each breath, burning my mouth. I heave again, but nothing comes out this time. Nothing but a guttural belch. Okay, calm down, I say to myself, barely recognizing my own voice. Not surprising. It feels like the only thing wet to my throat in decades was my own bile. To wet my throat in decades was my own bile. I clutch my head to try and control the spinning I feel. After several minutes of trying to breathe calmly, my vision starts to settle. I still feel disoriented, but I can at least make out what's in front of me now. Again, I look around trying to get my bearing. As I noted earlier, I am in some alleyway, and I don't know where though. Tilting my head up, I can see that it's night. The buildings around me seem to stretch taller than they should. I look at further in front of me. There are boxes blocking the alley. They're stacked up pretty high. I look down to the ground, and something catches my eye. Slowly, I bend over to reach over it, not wanting to upset my stomach anymore, and grab what seems to be a jacket. Pretty big. I can stretch it out far past something that would fit me. I wonder who left this here. Were they trying to cover me? Another headache hits the back of my head, and I clutch the side of my face. Ugh, starting to feel nauseous again. I rest my head against the wall and immediately feel uncomfortable. It didn't hurt, but I could tell I shouldn't have done that. I reach for the back of my head. I feel bandages, and a lot of them along with that, I can only assume is crusted up blood. How the hell did I end up like this? Last thing I remember, was hanging with Diana and making plans with Damien. I try to recollect more as much as I can. It's all scattered, like a haze is blocking me from my own memory. Oh, fuck. I exhale with a haggard breath. Still hoping this is just a weird dream, because I can't even remember my own name. I then spend the next half hour alternating between doing breathing exercises and having an existential crisis. The more I think about myself, the more I realize I don't know who I am. I'm thinking clearly, but there's not much to think about. All I know is Diana and Damien are very close to me, and I wish they were here right now. I feel a sort of sadness at all the things I can't remember. All of my relationships and experiences are just gone. One thing's for sure, this is no dream. Maybe it's a nightmare? If it would be the most boring nightmare I've ever had. I say that, but I'm still fairly spooked. I move past the notion that I'm dreaming. However, the sensations I felt since waking up are too real. Even so, periodically I pinch the skin of my forearm. I can definitely feel like I'm pinching the skin, but I don't feel any pain. It's basically numb. Same with the back of my head. That blow I must have taken did a serious number on me. It doesn't take a doctor to figure out that that's probably why I can't remember everything. Speaking of doctors, I replay the memory of myself and Diana laughing at our professor. It's the only entertainment I have. Well, kind of. I also think back to that earlier memory that I've come to accept the fact it was real. Despite the fact that my eyes were closed, it all felt so visceral to the point where I can say it happened. Someone mentioned my loss of blood, and someone else covered me up. Someone left me here, but who? Was it? Did Damien and Diana leave me here? Oh my god, I'll be so sad. All I have to go on is this jacket they left behind for me. It's simple enough, but I don't recognize the style. Not that I can talk about fashion. It's better than what I have on. I can't tell if I'm wearing hospital scrubs or a prison uniform. Wish I at least had some socks. The more I wake up, the more I realize how cold I am. I sigh. Eventually, I look towards the other side of the alleyway. I don't think I could move those boxes easily, if at all. But I should at least try and look for help. Starting to get annoyed with my body as I struggle to do the simplest of tasks. I can hear my panting echo softly through the alley, along with something else. Sound of footsteps. Run! I try to hold my breath. I think someone's on the other side of those boxes. Do I call out to them? Do I hide? Not that there's much room to hide. Whatever's out there starts pulling the boxes out one by one. I don't know what's in those boxes, but they don't look so easy to throw around. They're just chucking them like it's nothing. I can feel my knees start to tremble. A chill runs down my spine and my teeth start to chatter. Both my knees give and I'm back on my ass against the wall. The fear is starting to get overwhelming, and my vision starts to blur again. There aren't many boxes left, and something starts to show between those cracks. A light. Oh my god, it's a train! A flashlight. Before I know it, the ray of light is completely covering me. It's a task to lift my arms to block the beam, even harder to keep them in the air. I was already struggling to move without fearing for my life. I don't think I can take much more of this. I'm getting overstimulated. I feel like I'm shutting down. Truck coon, I'm about to get isekai'd. Just as I start to succumb to my panic, the light suddenly shifts. Slowly, I open my eyes, peeking through the cracks of my fingers. The person, no, the beast man holding the gun moves one step closer. Don't move, he says in a gruff, commanding voice. If I was cold before, I'm frozen now. I'm just sitting here, trying to follow his movements the best I can with what little I can see. Through the slits of my fingers, I can ascertain one thing. He's a wolf, and a tall one at that. The wolf circles around me. I can see him clearly in my peripheral. He can see my face now, along with the terrified expression I'm wearing. Gun or not, he could rip me to shreds with just those claws. Not that there's much to rip apart. I don't stand a chance at running in my current condition. Hell, I can barely stand up. So I sit here, waiting to see what he's going to do with me. He's a few feet away, gun still pointing at me. Upon closer inspection, it looks to be the size of a pistol, but it doesn't look like any model I've ever seen. The wolf shifts his head, looking all over my body. My teeth start chattering again, reverberating through the alley. He walks up closer with intent. I shut my eyes. It's all I can do. This is the worst my breathing has been since I woke up. I can feel my empty stomach churn, my dehydrated eyes strain to tear up. The only thing that pulls me out from my panic attack is the feeling of something soft under my chin. He starts to slowly lift my head up with his paw. His paw pads feel like worn leather under my chin. His breath is hot on my face. Now more than ever, I wish this was just a dream. The wolf squints his eyes and speaks to me. I can't make it out as the ringing in my ears is too loud. Is all I can muster. The wolf closes his eyes before pulling his hand away. He sits in front of me. We're eye level with each other. Are you okay? Huh? He pauses once more before repeating himself again. Are you okay? I don't respond. I'm not in the right state of mind to. He seems to pick up on this. Calm down, I'm not gonna hurt you. The wolf places the gun he was holding on the ground and flies it to the other side of the alley. See, if I wanted to, I would have already. That's one gun gone, but what about the one on his back? My eyes veer to it, which he notices. I'm not taking that one off. It would be too much work. He states matter-of-factly before switching to a crisscross position. You're okay, you're okay. He looks me in the eyes again before holding his paws apart in front of me. Breathe in. He then pulls them closer, almost in a clapping motion. And breathe out. I'm slowly transitioning from panic to confusion, which I'd say is an upgrade. For some reason, the inflection in his voice sounds weird. He's speaking English, undoubtedly, but something about it is off. I can't put my finger on it. Is it a dialect? Regardless, I do as he says and start to match my breathing with his movement. We do this for a while, and slowly but surely it seems to be working. With enough time and effort, and with the help of this wolf, I bring myself out of my self-induced panic attack. After one final breath, I manage to get back to just breathing through my nose. Still breathing faster than I would like to, but it's a start. There, how are you feeling? He takes a deep breath as well. I guess that did take longer than it needed to. Tired and dizzy. I finally drop my hands down for a moment before moving to hold my head. It feels like I swapped a panic attack for a headache. I'm not surprised. The wolf gets closer to me, to my head. Wow, I really don't like how close he's getting. You've lost a lot of blood. Gently, he holds my chin and shifts me to the right, revealing the back of my head. He leans in closer and takes a few sniffs. I can feel his breath again, and I start to get apprehensive. I instinctively pull back. Gentle or not, this really isn't helping my anxiety. You're still scared? Huh? He leans in again. I can feel the wetness of his nose on my forehead as he trails around my head before sniffing around some more. Sorry. The wolf says bluntly before he pulls back. Habit of mine. Okay. What's your name? He asks suddenly. I literally don't have an answer for him. I don't know. The wolf doesn't seem fazed by that. What do you know? I don't know. My emotions feel like a metronome, swapping between scared and confused at the drop of a dime. I'd like to believe he's right. If he wanted to hurt me, he would have already. Now that I think about it, I don't think he could hurt me either way on the account of not feeling any pain. Well, that's not true. He could break my legs, and even if I couldn't feel it, I'd be at his mercy. The flash of imagery in my head makes me shudder. Wait here. Huh? His voice snaps me out of my imagination. He stands up and then moves near the alley entrance. I cock my head as I try and see what he's doing. The wolf waves a paw over his right wrist and a small screen lights up in front of him. It seems to be coming out of a bracelet he's wearing. I squint, trying to make heads or tails of it. Seriously, where the hell am I? We certainly didn't have this kind of tech back on Earth. Whatever he's doing, he's tapping furiously away on it with his fingers. For a moment, he places his free paw over his chin. He looks deep in thought. All of a sudden, he turns his attention back to me, looking me over once more before typing away again. He waits. Then I hear something. Notification? Then he starts tapping again for about a minute before sliding the screen away. Was I really isekai'd? I don't know. Okay, can you stand? I'm going to take you home now. Here. The wolf walks up to me before starting to get me on my feet. He carefully gets under my armpits and lifts me up slowly, trying to keep me stable. How's that? Wait a minute. I stumble nearly to my knees and he catches me. It's okay. I can carry you if you want. I said wait. I raise my voice and the wolf's eyes widen a bit. I push him away, choosing to slump against the wall again. At least I'm still standing. If barely. Who the hell are you? Where the hell am I? How do you know where I live? Even though my adrenaline from earlier is worn off, I'm starting to get hit with rising paranoia. I barely know where I live. You can't seriously expect someone with a head injury to just go home with someone they don't know. Do you? Quite feisty for someone with a head injury. The wolf sighs before walking over and then sits down in front of me again, though I'm looking down at him. I'm glad he did. My knees feel like they're about to give out, and I sit back down on the ground. I don't know how to explain this without alarming you, but you're going through a fairly common experience around. He then taps the side of his head. Barring the head injury, what do you mean? The wolf scratches the back of his head. It's best you know as little as possible unless absolutely necessary. That's a horrible way to build trust. I didn't mean to say that out loud, but I did mean it. I don't need your trust. I could take you by force if you really want me to. The fur on his neck bristles and my fear spikes again. He flattens back down before rubbing the side of his neck. Relax. If you won't come to that, it won't come to that if you just cooperate.
Take me by force, piss doggo.
Piss doggo? Relax. It won't come to that if you just cooperate. I'll say this. I've done this before, many times. Done what? Taking humans home. Amnesiac or not. How do you know where I live? The wolf pauses. You know where Resume is? No, should I? The wolf exhales, almost in relief. Whether or not you do, it doesn't matter to me. Resume is one of the few cities that's mainly just humans around. Okay, so where's around here? The wolf shakes his head. We can talk about that later. Honestly, we've dallied long enough. Just know that I have contacts there. He lifts his paw, pointing to that weird bracelet. I've confirmed a meeting point to get you home safely. I open my mouth, to which he interrupts. Before you ask any more questions, I gave a description of your appearance, and they matched it up with someone who's missing. I close my mouth. I guess you have done this before. I'm kind of surprising myself. I'm taking all this in way too quickly, aren't I? I guess when your head is nearly empty, anything new becomes acceptable. Regardless, I'm going to at least try to remain skeptical. How do I know you're not just setting me up? The wolf smirks at that. You don't. What would you be able to do in your current situation if I was, though? He has a point. Don't know where or who I am. I wouldn't be able to make it far. I sigh. I can't tell if my ears are still ringing or if there are alarm bells going off in my head. I resign myself. I really don't have a choice. Okay, fine. It's not like I trust you, though. That's wise. I won't do anything to hurt you. You can count on that. We'll see, I guess. With that out of the way, the exhaustion is starting to catch up, and I scoot back to my familiar spot against the wall. I can barely stand up, let alone walk. Not to argue impose, but you wouldn't happen to have any food or water, would you? The wolf thinks it over before turning toward the alley, listening. Yeah, we could probably have a quick bite to eat. Let me just... He walks over to the pile of crates and starts stacking them again, providing some decent coverage. There, that should be fine. I doubt anyone will go through the trouble to get through that. Besides you? Fair enough. Actually, that does make me curious. Before the wolf sits down, he plops the bag he had slung on his shoulder to the ground. He looks a bit weird. Oh, it looks a bit weird. Almost like a violin case with its angles straightened out. Like an awkward trapezoid. Wait, I'm getting distracted. So, how did you know I was here? I'm going to turn the music up a little bit. Oh. The wolf taps his snout with a couple of fingers. It was faint, but I could smell you a couple blocks away. He pauses. Well, your blood anyways. I see. Well, why did you go through the trouble of finding me? The wolf takes out what seems to be a canteen and places it in front of me, along with some kind of package wrapped in what feels like plastic. Afterward, he moves to sit next to me against the wall. I take on a lot of odd jobs. I wasn't looking for you per se, I was just in the area when I caught your scent. You're gonna lurk, you might check out the visual novel yourself later. Sounds good, sounds good. He takes his own package, ripping it open. Some kind of food? You should consider yourself lucky. By the looks of it, you wouldn't have lasted another day or two. Looking over myself, I'd say he's right. I'm skin and bones with an empty stomach and a concussion. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of surprised I've made it this long. Slowly, I lean forward to pick up the canteen thing. I can feel liquid inside, but I don't see a way to use it. It's a rectangular shape with no discernible opening. What? He looks up from whatever he's eating. There's water in here, right? How do I open it? He swallows. Oh. He leans over, slides his finger across the top, and a small opening appears. There. It's got some nutrients in it, and that should help. Just drink it slow. I do as I'm told. Maybe it's because I'm so dehydrated, but this water does taste pretty rich. It's almost heavy. I choke on it for a moment, but swallow it down soon, not wanting to waste any of it. I smack my lips a bit as if it's alcohol. You okay? Yeah, just a bit strong. Just drink it slowly. I nod, a tad embarrassed for my lack of coordination. Regardless, I'm thankful for the drink. My throat even starts to feel better in just a few minutes. Not wanting to drink it all myself, I mimic what he did earlier to close the canteen. You know, on second thought, the wolf reaches over and takes the package he gave me. I'm just going to take a guess, judging by how you reacted to that water, you could use something a bit lighter to eat. He rummages in his bag before handing me a small parcel. That should be a bit lighter. It doesn't really taste like much, but it's got some protein. Curious, I reach over and pick it up. Feels like it's wrapped in paper, even though there's no labels. Even with what little strength I have, I open it fairly easily. What's inside kind of looks like saltine crackers, but brown instead of manila. I lift one up and smell it. It's like beef jerky, but only faintly. If I'm being honest, they don't look very appetizing. Beggars can't be choosers, though. I take one of the cracker things and bite into it. Thankfully, he's right. It doesn't taste like much. A little salty and a bit sweet, but not much else. Definitely the texture of a cracker. I'm just glad I got something to drink. After a few minutes of eating, I look over to the wolf. He's enjoying his meal. At least I think he is. Man, how did I end up here? Now that I have time to think, I realize something. I don't recognize his voice from the ones I heard before. I decide to speak up about this. Oh right, there were people who left me here, but I can't really remember. The wolf looks over to me with a curious look. Do you remember anything about them? No, just a bit of a conversation, probably right after I got this dent in my head. I pat the crumbs off my shirt and hold up the jacket I woke up with. I have this, but that's it. Wolf looks over before he grabs it from my hands and smells it. He then scrunches his nose. I guess he didn't like how it smelled because he balls it up and tosses it to the side. I think it would be best to leave it here. Take my word. Oh, okay. I start thinking to myself, whoever left that for me, I think they had my best interests in mind. Their voice seemed reassuring at least. Although to be fair, they did leave me here like this. I should be more careful. A voice isn't enough to judge a character. Oh wait. What's your name? We had such a shaky start that I completely forgot to ask. My name? He pauses and then sighs. Cooper. Just don't tell anyone. Why? You ask a lot of questions, do you know that? To be fair, you're making it hard not to. Just eat your food. Okay. Once again, I do as I'm told, sitting in this strange alley with this strange beast man eating this strange food. I wonder how Damien would react to the situation if he were here with me. Now you can say his name without spoiling. Bet he'd try and carry me so we could get as far away from this place as possible. A little fragment flashes through my mind of Damien giving me a piggyback ride. I think he convinced me to play basketball with him and he whooped my butt. I remember being tired, but just not as much as I am now. I sigh. I really miss his piggyback rides. I don't think this Resume place is my home. It's not much, but I have some memories of where I lived. Oh? I just don't know how to make sense of all this. I'm not surprised. I just know one thing. I really want to go home. Well, as far as I'm aware, Resume is your home. He pauses. Even if it's not, Resume is known for getting people back to where they belong. What do you mean? Well, Resume is a hot spot for humans, almost a sanctuary. I'm sure they could get you back to wherever you came from. I hope so. Cooper flicks his ears at that. I guess he can sense my dejection, though I'm not really hiding it. Where do you come from? Nowhere worth mentioning. He dodges my question and stands up, listening intently. I think it's time we head out. How are you doing? Well, better, but I don't think I'm in any condition to move around too much. Can you walk? I grunt as I try and stand up. It wasn't much, but that combination of water and protein crackers is at least giving me enough strength to stand and walk a bit. Kind of, but I don't think for very far or long. We'll take breaks, and if it comes to it, I can carry you. Okay. I stretch, popping all my joints again, but this time it feels really good. Just glad to be off my butt for a bit. I should mention it. When we're out of this alley, it'd be best to keep talking to a minimum. Why? Cooper's stance shifts, looking towards the opening of the alley and then back to me. There are people here trying to find you as we speak. And that's bad? Very. I can't disclose much, but I'll say this. Your life will be a living hell if they find you. Maybe it's just because I'm getting more lucid, but I'm not really fazed by that. Kind of worries me. So, wait, are you under contract? In a sense, as I've said, I've done a lot of escort missions. It tends to be easier the less people know. That doesn't sound very skeevy or anything. Cooper looks out in the alley and then back to me. Look, there's a lot out there, and with your current mental state, I don't think it'd be a good idea to overwhelm you. Maybe. I don't know. I close my eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Being left in the dark ain't much better. You'll be fine. I'm sure you've been through worse. Wouldn't know. Cooper actually chuckles at that before returning his gaze to the alleyway opening. Gotta do this in a way that's not suspicious. I think I'll leave that to you. Didn't really offer. Fair enough. After about 5 minutes, he manages to remove most of the boxes fairly quietly. We're free to leave the alley. I am both nervous and excited. You said we shouldn't talk, right? Only if absolutely necessary. Whisper if you need to. I'll probably hear it. Why? Can we write? Do you have an axiom? A what? I'll take that as a no. He points to his bracelet. I can communicate through this via text, but that's it. What about pen and paper? Cooper looks at me as if I've said something truly bizarre. I don't know how to write like that. Wait, what? I didn't use them outside of class, but at least I know how. Okay. You do? Weird. What the, like, you're one to talk. I think to myself, grumbling. Oh, right. He looks over to me again. I'm slowly getting used to that. What should I call you? Huh? Oh. I'm not sure. The thought hadn't crossed my mind. What do I call myself? Cooper pauses again, thinking. Well, until you come up with something, I'll just call you human. Okay. Before we officially venture out, we do a bit of cleaning in the alley. Cooper tells me we should try to avoid leaving anything behind, sans that jacket he tossed. Thankfully, there's not much, just the wrappings from our food and... Oh. I forgot Cooper's other gun. It'd definitely lead to trouble if we left something like that lying around. I'm about to try and pick it up, and I think to myself, is it a good idea to touch something like this? Hey Cooper, you left your gun over there. Is it okay for me to pick it up? My phone lit up. Oh, good call. Yeah, the safety's on. Just try not to slide anything on it. You love this free Audible trial. Slide anything on a gun? Okay, I know my motor skills are a bit rusty, but I should be able to pick up a gun without firing it, right? I gulp. I'm hovering my hand over it, inches away before a yellow arm invades my vision. Relax, you're not going to set it off. The wolf casually picks it up and even twirls it. See? If you say so. Here. Cooper then carefully takes my arm and plants the pistol into my hand. It's cool to the touch and smooth. It almost feels like a smartphone screen. My grip is firm on it, and I don't want to drop it. Still, I do turn it around slowly, getting a decent look at it. It looks cool. It's not what I would normally picture on a gun to look like, though. Firmly grasp it. It's sleek and pretty light. However, it's a gun. It's still a gun, and I don't trust myself with it. It's neat. Here, take it back. Cooper takes it and holsters it back at his hip. I guess giving you a self-defense weapon is out of the question. Would that be necessary? In your position, yes. Why does whoever they are want me so bad? classified figures. You ready to head out? As ready as I'll ever be. He takes out his bracelet or axiom and starts to tap away on it. Now that I'm close, I can kind of make out what he's doing. The screen is pretty clear, even while being somewhat translucent. I can't make out a lot though. It looks blurry, almost as if censored. You can read that? I can, you can't. He swipes away the screen. No offense, but I'm not going to register you in it. Okay. Whatever that means. We're going to head to a nearby plaza. It's late, but there should be a shop open. Or what? I figured you could use a change of clothes. He's taking me shopping? He grimaces. Glad I just got paid. You don't have to do anything. I'll manage. That's nice of you, human, but it's more out of necessity. Your current getup would be suspicious to just about anyone. I look down at what I'm wearing. He has a point, although I'm not sure what kind of fashion they have here. If I could choose, probably something with sleeves. The scars along my arms and legs are kind of off-putting, especially to me. You have any suggestions? Yeah, I'm not the person to ask about clothes. We'll figure it out when we get there. Okay. We both look at the alley. Look over the alley, making sure it's empty enough. Alright. Let's start moving. Tug on my sleeve or something if you need anything, and remember to keep quiet. Okay? With that, we make our way out of the alley. Alright, we're going. A third location. Oh, it's a city. A bustling metropolis. It's hard to tell what time it is, but I'd guess it's after midnight. There's no one out in the streets besides a few cars. Some flying cars at that. It's been so long since you played this visual novel. Was the start always this slow? It does feel like it's taking a while to get to something. Oh, that took about like an hour because it's now the first hour of stream. Okay, yeah, maybe Cooper was onto something about the scary outside world. What's more is that they're fairly quiet, just a slight hum. We walk on the sidewalk. The material is somewhat warm against my bare feet. I can't tell what it's made out of. It just feels weird. I really wish I had some shoes. Cooper walks along the street, keeping me somewhat close to the walls of nearby buildings. Their walls look sleek and unnaturally smooth. If I had to guess, they look like the same material as the gun Cooper has. The surfaces just look like big phone screens, highly reflective. I don't look long though, not wanting to see my face. We make it a block or two before I tug at Cooper's sleeve. Cooper perks his ear in my direction. I whisper as quietly as I can. Sorry, break? Sure. I lean against the wall behind me, taking a few breaths. I was hoping I could last longer. The fact that it's in the middle of the night doesn't help. I'm feeling pretty sleepy. Here, this should help. Before I can ask, he takes out his axiom. I think he draws a circle on the screen. As he does, the outline of a circle lights up on the ground. With another tap, Cooper slides the axiom off, and a cylinder rises from the ground, stopping around my calf. Cooper must see my stunned expression. What's the matter, old man? Never been to the city before? At this point, I don't know if I'm more stunned at what he just did or what he just called me. Old man, I'm like 26. I spit out a hiss. Never seen a human that young with hair that old. Keep it down, would ya? He's lucky I'm mature, or else I'd call him out for provoking it. I stare at him, sticking my tongue out. I huff and sit down on my new seat. It's not very big, but it's enough for me to sit fully on without sliding off. It's warm, almost like a heated seat. Curiously, I glide my hand along the side. It's almost soft in that warm, plasticky kind. Handy. Cooper rests against the building while I take my breath, tapping away on his axiom. I try and look at it some more. I can see some pictures, I think, but that's about it. Looking around, there's not much to talk about in terms of architecture. Most buildings look the same, being eerily rectangular without much detail. The ones that don't look a bit older, but not in terms of architecture. I've never seen this style. They just look more worn out than the rest. Cooper keeps an ear out for the few cars that come our way, but he doesn't seem too worried. Not even for the ones a few stories above us. It's kind of scary seeing stuff like flying cars all of a sudden. I instantly think about a scenario where one malfunctions and just falls straight on me. Ever the pessimist. I shake my head and stand up. Turning to Cooper, I give him the thumbs up. He gives me a puzzled look before doing it back. Albeit a tad weird, does he even know what that means? This no talking thing isn't going to work. I sigh before gesturing for him to lead the way. Thankfully, he understands that, and we're walking along again. Once again, I think to myself, I've come to accept that I'll be doing that a lot now. Seriously, this place is huge. No wonder how people don't get lost around. There are signs here and there, but with all the buildings looking so similar, how do they make sense of it all? My thoughts get interrupted as Cooper suddenly pulls me into a nearby alley. What? He covers my mouth abruptly and huddles me against the wall. I furrow my brows. Where did this come from? Oh, fuck. Did he see one of those guards? I can't see anything out of the alley. Cooper is resting on his side now, blocking me. He pulls me against his chest, my scrawny chest against his built one. This is the closest we've been. With his paw covering my mouth, I can only breathe through my nose. I never noticed it before, but this dog absolutely reeks. My eyes almost water. His odor is so overpowering. If the guards don't get me, his stench will. Actually, no. Guards, please come around the corner. Save me. They don't, as much as I sort of wanted them to. I don't see them, but I can hear the clamping of boots around, or behind Cooper. When they stop, my heart drops. Imky. A real reeker. They pick up again after a few moments, their steps fading into the distance. When Cooper removes his paw from my mouth, I take in some fresh air as I move a few steps away from him. I glare at him and whisper in a hoarse voice. Dude. Sorry, they were getting close. They're not the only ones. I actually spit on the ground, getting as much of his stench out of my system as possible. You need a bath. What? Come on, let's go. You'd think with a nose like that good, he would have noticed. I don't even give him time to process that as I pull him out of the alley. Ugh. My bravado ceases quickly, though, as I need him to actually lead me. We don't talk for the rest of the walk, and thankfully no other guards pop up. We make it to the store. After a few blocks, Cooper points to a building. It's one of the only ones with a lit sign. Looks like neon. There, that's our place. I huff. Thank God, my legs were starting to give out again. What is it? Clothing store, I think. You think? Well, I've never been. It's just recommended on the Axiom. By who? Let's go. Okay. We cross the street quickly. Well, as quickly as I can. It isn't until we're up against the building I finally realize what's been so off-putting about this city. There don't seem to be any doors on most, if any, of the surrounding buildings. This building has some see-through windows above, but here on the ground, nothing. This looks like a big wall of plastic. How do we get in? Hang on. He pushes me out of the way. We're taking out the Axiom, this time drawing more of an archway on the screen. While he's doing so, an outline in the shape of what he's drawing appears on the wall in front of us. Once it connects, there's a brief flash of light before a new doorway has appeared. Wait here. I have to open one for you. I can't go through yours? No, don't worry. It'll just take a minute. Before I can protest, Cooper heads into the boutique and the doorway shuts behind him almost instantly. Hi, Tokyo. We're playing Remember the Flowers, a visual novel. Hope you're having a good day. It hasn't even been a minute, but the fact that I am alone out in this strange world is giving me goosebumps. I rub my arms a bit, really feeling the lack of sleep. Is this on Steam? No, it's just on itch.io. It's an indie game, or an indie visual novel. At least my feet are warm. These heated walkways are nice. I look around, and I think I see a clock in the distance. 2:46 a.m. No wonder I'm so tired. I yawn and rest against the wall. It's cool compared to the floor, which is weird to say the least. Man, Cooper is taking a long time in there. I start to get worried. Looking to the clock, it's been several minutes. It's a door. I mean, it's super futuristic kind of door, but it shouldn't take this long to open a door, should it? Starting to get antsy out here. I'm a sitting duck. I turn to face the wall and start to feel around before pushing. Surely there has to be other ways to open a door around here, right? What if you don't have an axiom? This all seems ludicrous to me. As I'm feeling around, the outline of an archway lights up. Before I know it, I'm falling face first into the boutique. I yelp and close my eyes, bracing myself for a plethora of broken bone. Instead, I fall on something sturdy and supportive, and smelly. I look up and I'm met with Cooper's concerned expression. I've fallen onto his chest. Cooper's gaze shifts quickly, though, back to one of annoyance. What are you doing? I was trying to find a way in. You were taking too long. You want to get off? More than you know. I heave as I basically try to do a push-up to get off of him, but my piddly arms make it difficult. Cooper instead just slowly lifts me up by my collar like a kitten held by their mother and gets me off. I can't believe you survived this long. I don't have a retort. It is admittedly a bit embarrassing to fall face first into your escort like that. I just grumble to myself and work on standing up. Oh my heavens, are you alright? I whip my head around toward the unfamiliar voice. As my heart starts to race, Cooper places a hand on my shoulder. Calm down, she's the one running the place. He says with some exhaustion as he hoists me up to stand properly. That's right, just let me know if you need anything and I'll be there to assist you. She jumps. Oh my gosh, your head, are you okay? Do you need a doctor? Oh. Right, I'm bandaged up. Before I can respond, Cooper speaks up. He's fine, he just had too much to drink. He then pulls on my cheeks a bit as if scalding me. He needs a fresh set of clothes. Oh, I see. Well, of course. Just let me know if you need anything and I'll be there. Lickety split. Thanks. Her energy is a bit overwhelming, but I nod respectfully towards her out of habit. She looks like a small sheep, maybe no more than 4 feet tall. Her outfit looks like a green bellhop's uniform, complete with a cute and small hat. Before she walks back to her desk, I catch her name tag. It looks expensive with the name Marantha written in gold lettering. Fancy to say the least. I've never heard of a name like that though. Wonder if it's a local thing. Okay, enough gawking. My inner monologue is once again interrupted by my escort who lightly slaps my back. Hey, what was that for? You're taking up time again. Go find something to wear, something cheap. I rub my back, and for a moment, I think I feel something. I am just tired. I'm aware. Now hurry up. He then scoots me off further into the store while he rests against the wall, fiddling with his axiom. Wow, thanks for the help. I want to go to sleep in a real bed. In any case, I start to wander around the store. Everything looks pretty tacky, to say the least. Lots of weird designs, and most don't look very practical. I shiver. These floors are not heated. Looking around, I don't see any shoes. If I remember correctly, which is already a stretch, both clothing stores don't hold shoes due to beastmen needing specific shapes and sizes. Guess it's not unreasonable for them to not have any. Regardless, I walk up to Marantha's desk. This might be easier than wandering alone. Plus, Cooper'd get mad at me if I dawdled. As I walk up to her desk, I realize something. I think she's asleep. Excuse me, Miss Marantha? I get closer and yep, she's asleep. She even has a pillow on her desk. I look around for some sort of bell to wake her up. I feel bad, but I do want to get out of here as soon as possible. There's some kind of cube thing next to her nameplate. I tap the cube and sure enough, it produces a small ding, instantly waking her. Oh, hello, sir. Did I fall asleep again? Hello. Yes, I guess you did. Oh, dear me. I do apologize for that. I hope you weren't waiting long. Her voice sounds like if a stuffed animal sheep came to life. She's adorable. It's no trouble at all, ma'am. I am sorry for waking you. Oh, look at you being so considerate. If everyone around here was like you, this job would be heaven. She hops down from her chair to greet me. Definitely a couple feet shorter than me. I take it you need some help deciding? Oh, yes. I need some advice. Oh. I'm not looking for anything. I pause. Extravagant. Oh, and here I thought we had some of the more tame selections around these parts. I guess that explains your accent. She laughs, but I freeze. Oh, fuck. This must be why Cooper told me to keep quiet. They could pick me out from a crowd just by talking. Where are you from, sir? She almost trills as she walks me along the selections. Do I lie? Do I tell the truth? Vermont? She tilts her head at me, smiley expression unfading. Oh, wow. What? I've never heard of the place. What province is it in? Hey, what's that? Oh, that's by designer. Phew. Yeah, this is going to be an issue. I'll have to talk to Cooper about how to handle these kinds of situations. I let her chatter on. It's honestly just pleasant to hear her talk. She asks about my taste and what I'm looking for. After I give her the rundown, she claps her hands. Oh, that explains why you thought we mainly had extravagant stuff. You're looking for something minimalist. Sure. I just nod. I don't really think of clothes as some sort of art. If she can help me get what I want, that's all I care about. In that case, I have something over here that would be perfect. Despite her short legs, she's speedy. I nearly have to jog to catch up to her, which only wears me out more. These were designed by a relatively new designer. He's still up and coming, so I'm sure he'd appreciate your business. I look over, and these seem pretty standard to me. Just how I like it. After a few minutes of perusing, I pick out a few outfits. They have tags on them, but I can't tell what currency they're in. I can make out some stylized P, but that's it. I don't want to break the bank for Cooper. I think these should be fine. Is there anywhere to try them on? Certainly, follow me, please. And not again. Her enthusiasm at this time of night is impressive. She scurries off to another wall and holds out her wrist. Huh, she has an axiom too. Hers looks different, cuter than Cooper's. She draws a rectangle on her pink screen and a door appears on the wall. Here you are, sir, the dressing room. It also has a bathroom if you want to freshen up. When you want to leave, just hit the button on the table. Do you have any questions? I think I'm okay. Thank you for all your help. I really appreciate it. Oh, aren't you just the sweetest? Well, just holler if you need me. With that, she scurries back to her desk. I'm so tired that I can only muster a half wave to her. She's very nice. I look towards the opening and head in. It's dark for a moment, and before a harsh pinkish hue illuminates the area, I have to shield my eyes, dropping my clothes. Sensing discomfort, the lights then tone down drastically to the point of just softly revealing everything. Is this to your satisfaction, customer? Sure, I guess. I don't even question it at this point. Very well, enjoy your stay. Creepy. I scoop up the clothes and then walk around slowly. It's pretty spacious for a dressing room. This place is freaking huge. Who needs this much space to get dressed? There's what seems to be a vanity along with a large mirror framed in neon lighting. I'm still far enough away that it's dawning on me. I have to get a good look at myself. Why am I so nervous? How bad could it be? If my arms and legs or anything go by, pretty bad. Okay, that's enough. I'm still me, whoever that is. I say that, but I close my eyes as I get closer to the table. After I feel around to find a place to put the clothes down, I open my eyes. Wow, my hair is really long. I stroke it again, really getting a good feel for the length. Hi, Dusk. Thank you for the head pats. Men. It doesn't look like I've eaten much in a long time either. I'm not withering away, but I can definitely see a lot of bones. My cheekbones in particular are fairly pronounced, along with a pasty complexion. Guess I don't get much sun either. The sudden confrontation with my own reflection just makes my mind wander. Where have I been? And with who? I can feel another panic attack coming, and I stand up straight. We can panic later. I need to get used to this. What I've become? I take a deep breath and start preparing myself for what's next. What does my chest look like? I clutch the bottom of my shirt, and although I hesitate for a moment, I decide to just pull the thing off. For a moment, I look away from the mirror, but I glance, then look fully.
It's Sephiroth.
Wow. I'm not sure if I'm disgusted or just plain shocked. Are the animals harvesting his organs? Like, what's going on? My ribs are easily showing, along with several stitched scars throughout my chest. I trail my fingers over a few of them, which makes me shudder. Didn't realize it, but my hands are pretty cold. I repeat my new mantra. How the hell did I end up like... I stare at my reflection in the mirror for a while longer. The only thing I can recognize are my green eyes. I remember that Damien used to compliment them all the time. Eventually, I snap myself out of it. As weird as I look, we don't have a lot of time. I'll get used to it. Sooner or later. I turn, and then that's when I met with the weirdest part of my body. Do you have a tail? Oh. Along my spine are several pieces of metal. Oh no. They look like ports. I'm not very flexible right now. He was in the Matrix? Was he in the Matrix and he just escaped? Oh my god. I'm not very flexible right now, but I managed to get my arm up around to feel one of them. I push into one and immediately feel a wave of nausea, almost falling over. Ghost in the shell? Yeah, that's like kind of what it seems like. Oh shit. There's some sort of flash, a bright light, along with the feeling of tightness around my limbs. Fuck. My face was hard enough, but that's not something I'm going to get used to easily. I shake myself out of my stupor and just rush to get my clothes on. Hey bro, let me plug in my headphones. Someone get Morpheus. Yeah, you gotta take the red pill, I think, right? Not wanting to look at what the mirror is showing me anymore. Thankfully, it doesn't take long for me to figure out an outfit. It's a black turtleneck and dark pants. I can't tell what they're made of, though. Turtleneck is light, but I already feel like I'm warming up. The pants almost feel like jeans, but smoother with the fabric I've never felt before. Probably best not to think about it. As long as they are functional, that's all I care about. I'm ready to leave, so I push the button thing on the table. It takes about a minute for the door to open. I wonder if she fell asleep again. I don't blame her. I'm surprised they have anyone working this late at night. I gather up all the extra clothes in one arm and my old scrubs in the other. I try to compose myself, still disturbed by what I've become. Oh no, is he the bad guy and he's trying to get us back to the... maybe Damien broke us from the Matrix and then Cooper is returning us to the computer. Cooper finally lifts his head up from his axiom and walks over to the desk. He doesn't look thrilled. Welcome back. Oh wow, that outfit does look nice on you. Very comfortable. I might need to try the designer out myself. Ah, well thanks. I'm not sure if I'm much to look at though. Oh hush, you're definitely one of the more unique looking humans I've come across. He turns to Cooper. Wouldn't you agree? She's beaming. I don't even think Grumpy Cooper can ignore that. He looks okay. Unique is definitely a good word. I rub the back of my neck. It wasn't much, but I do appreciate the compliment. After everything in the dressing room, I'm desperate for any boost of confidence. So, how much? Well, let's see. Give me a moment to calculate everything. She takes out her frilly axiom and starts tapping away. I move next to Cooper, wondering what they're doing. Is this how money works around here? More or less, at least in the ritzy cities, they don't trust physical cash. Weird. Cooper huffs before lifting up his own axiom. I can see him slide the screen to a different window. There are numbers along it. And there. That should do it. She types before sliding her screen forward, and I can see it appear on Cooper's. I can actually read it for once. Maybe it's a customer service thing? Cooper reads it too and doesn't look happy. He grimaces and groans quite loudly. I guess it's expensive. He looks me over again before sighing and tapping a button. I think his signature pops up along with the numbers on his screen dropping near to 0. Oh, now I feel bad. Thank you for your patronage, Mr. Krager. Cooper narrows his eyes at her, then slides his axiom off with annoyance. We are leaving now. Oh, okay. I turn to Marantha. Thank you very much. I hope to see you again sometime. Oh, you. That's supposed to be my line. She reaches over her counter to shake my hand. Pleasure doing business with you as well, sir. Don't worry about the clothes. I'll take care of them. Thanks. I appreciate it. I hand her the pile of clothes I didn't take, keeping the ones I wore under my arm. I tried to fold them like she gave them to me, but yeah, it was kind of hard. Have a good morning, boys. You too, ma'am. Hope you get some good rest. We wave to each other, but then Cooper locks his arm around mine, taking us out of the establishment. Okay, we got new clothes, y'all. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it, he says to himself. Yes, I was right that it was expensive. Sorry. It's fine. It was my idea, and I'll get paid soon again anyways. Just know that didn't come cheap. Okay, thank you. Cooper huffs and nods before letting me walk out on my own. We walk on the sidewalks, however this time I don't know where we're going. I'm curious about something though. So, Cooper Krager? He whips around to look at me. You know what's good for you, don't ever say that name again. Okay, sorry. He huffs yet again and continues on. I really don't want to be in a bad spot with him. Sure, he's kind of pushy, but even in just the past few hours, he's done nothing but take care of me. I'll need to figure out a way to repay him somehow. So where are we going? Home. I pause. I know we're going to resume, but what about right now? What? No. He turns to me. We're going to my home. You'll be spending the night. This time I stop walking before going wide-eyed. Wait, you're not homeless? I'm partly joking, but with how shady he is and how much he smells, I just assumed he was. He looks completely done with me, though, as he doesn't even give me a verbal reaction. He just keeps walking. I go to catch up to him. Guess I should expect unexpected things. Like spending the night in this strange world with a strange wolf. We have number one, we have a new boyfriend, and we're already spending the night at his house. On the first date. That's crazy. Hey, wake up. You're not gonna sleep the whole weekend away, are you? I might be tempted if you'd let me. Come on, wake up. Before I make you. You did that with your boyfriend. It happens. I met my boyfriend and I fell asleep on him instantly. I feel the sensation of Damien ripping my covers off, waking up to a blast of cool air. You already knew each other before that? That makes sense. I did not know my boyfriend before falling asleep on him. My eyes had trouble adjusting for a moment, but I remember where I am. Oops, sorry about that. Cooper says as he tries to hoist me further up his back. I think he almost dropped me. Despite the cool night air, I find myself sweating a fair amount. That's the desert for you. I think about 15 minutes ago, my legs finally gave out and Cooper had to resort to giving me a piggyback ride. He's not the best at it. I had to coerce him to take off his bigger rifle too. Damien's definitely got him beat with that in that regard. Still, better than walking. Once we left the city, most of the paths were gravel and dirt. Cooper said we might have some spare shoes at home I could wear. When I asked where he got them, he told me not to worry about that. He might be right. The less questions I ask, the better. Not like he's going to answer them anyway. I'm tired at this point, and it must be near 4 a.m. Every time I try to rest my head against him, the stench blasts my nose. Oh yeah, Tokyo, he's really stinky. The new boyfriend's really stinky. Although I'd rather not mouth breathe so close to his neck. I don't want any of that gross fur in my mouth. Hey, how much longer? Another quarter mile, I would say. You not have a car? If I could barely afford that outfit, what makes you think I could afford a car? Fair point. I really shouldn't be complaining. He is carrying me after all. Still, even if I can't remember most of what just happened, I think I'll be able to complain just a little bit. I should be able to complain just a little. No more headaches or nausea though, which is a plus. Do you really live out here? No, of course not. That city is the only habitable zone for miles. So where are we going? Again with the questions. Again with the dodging of said question. I give an annoyed and exaggerated yawn. I know you said things are classified, but if we're almost there, isn't that enough of a window to fill me in? You'd be surprised how quickly clients will cancel a contract upon leaking information. Is that not leaking information? I'm starting to slip back down again, and Cooper tries to hoist me out. Please stop talking. I'm tired and not in the mood to banter. Okay? Sorry. He grunts at that, and I frown. Remember, I'm not doing this because I want to. I'd much rather be shooting the shit with my friends at the bar than carrying your scrawny ass across the country. Sorry, I'll be more mindful. My heart does sink a bit at that, but he's right. I do need to keep in mind that we're not friends or will ever be friends. Just coincidental acquaintances. I must be really lonely if I'm growing attached to this jerk. Cooper sighs, though, and even surprises me. No, that was a bit uncalled for. Believe it or not, you're one of the least insufferable escorts I've had to deal with. Even with the clothes? You kidding? You should see the bills I've had to pay just to make some of these clients happy. Cooper groans before ranting some more. Some of these mafia daughters think they're actual royalty. I can't help but chuckle. That is certainly a problem to have. Can I ask what they made you get them? Maybe in the morning. It is morning. I try and press my luck. Fair enough. I'd like to think he smirked at that. Sun is rising. We carry on in silence for a bit longer, and I think I start to see cracks of pink invade the horizon. Sun must be rising. Is it okay if I sleep when we get there? Might mess up my sleep schedule, but I'm exhausted. Lucky for you, I'm not one for itineraries. As long as we get you to resume on time, I don't care what we do. Sounds a bit contradictory, although I am too tired to challenge him on it. Good, because I'm definitely about to give out. Just a few more minutes. Okay. Both huff, and I try to get comfy against him one last time. His stench is getting less apparent the longer he carries me. Guess that's something. There, just up the hill. I eventually do start to nod off again, but Cooper wakes me up once more. I'm so sleepy at this point I can barely crack my eyes open. Sun's definitely coming up, which illuminates the hills in front of us. It'd be pretty if it wasn't so damn late at night. What is it? A capsule motel. I think I've heard of capsule hotels before, not a motel though. I thought you said we were going home. You'll see, soon enough. Besides, we have to get there somehow. Okay. I yawn, but I made it this long, so I try and stay up. Crash on his floor if I have to. I just want to lay down. After a trek up the hill, Cooper nudges me again and helps me get down. I almost immediately fall over. Cooper has to hold my hand to keep me steady. Come on, almost there. Okay. I yawn loudly again. Cooper does as well, surprisingly. He literally props me up against the wall of the first building we see. It reminds me of a cottage, both in size and appearance. It's completely contrasting the futuristic city we came from. Wait here. I'm going to register us for the night. Okay. It's kind of refreshing to see him open an actual door. I feel a form of nostalgia I can't begin to describe. The Steamkey Wolf, he is a Steam. Looking around, there isn't much. And hi, John. How many chapters am I in? I feel like we're still in chapter 1. I could be wrong, but it doesn't feel like I've seen another chapter screen. I don't. Yeah. Besides this cottage I'm propped up against, there's some weird pod thing. Now those contrast with the desert cottage. I debate on trying to figure out what they are, but decide I'm too tired for that. You don't like Cooper? Besides, Cooper will explain it to me when he gets back. Maybe. If he's feeling generous. The desert wind is all that's keeping me awake. It must be somewhere around here since the night air is somewhat tolerable. I think I remember reading that in the summertime it gets about to the high 60s. It's a bit chilly, but I was already cold before. Cooper's pretty warm. I have to say, being carried by him wasn't the worst thing in the world. Still, he could definitely use some pointers for Damien. Jeez, I really miss him. Stars begin disappearing one by one as the sun starts to rise. It'd be pretty if I didn't feel like I was about to collapse. Yet again, Cooper's taking a long time, but I guess this time it makes sense. He must be talking with someone to rent us rooms. Wait, does that mean I have to sleep in the same room as him? Maybe I can sleep in the bathroom. Better yet, get him to take a shower. The sudden door opening jerks me awake again. Cooper is back. Mobile Twitch sucks. As usual, he looks grumpy. I only got us about 48 hours. This place is such a scam. It doesn't seem to be the only motel around. It does seem to be the only motel around for miles. Guess that gives them a reason to jack up the prices. Cooper has a look of surprise on his face with a tinge of what I think is worrying. How do you know what a motel is? That question is so stupid, I actually close my eyes in annoyance. I inhale out of irritation and sheer tiredness. You ask a lot of questions. Fuck off. Cooper also rolls his tired eyes and shoos me along. I follow him as best I can, shielding my eyes from the rising sun. Number 12. Well, oof. Banging my nose against his shoulder. I walk right into Cooper, bang my nose right against his shoulder. Geez, warn me next time. Pay attention next time. We're here. We're in front of those weird pod thing. I pause for a moment. Well, what? This is the part where you're supposed to explain to me whatever the hell this is. Cooper gives an exasperated sigh. Do I really have to? Right now? It'd be fucking appreciated. I raise my voice a bit, out of irritation, and Cooper cringes while lowering his ears. Okay, fuck's sake. It's just a standard transfer pod. I don't know what that is. Remember? Amnesia. I pinch the bridge of my nose. Cooper growls quietly, and I have half a mind to stick my tongue out at him. He can deal with my moodiness right now. I am tired. Just watch. You're not gonna die. Cooper takes out his axiom and slides to a different screen. It's shaped more like a sphere than a flat screen. He spins around and before pressing into it like a button. Okay, now I'm awake. It looks a bit staticky for a second, and then he rotates his arm forward. He's holding his free paw underneath the sphere, and something slides out from it. Looks like a key. Whoa. Cooper slides the axiom off and presents the thing he just dropped out of it. Judging by the stupid expression on your face, you are quite surprised. Most axioms can digitally store physical objects. This is the key to my place. I keep it and other important things in it as long as they fit. That's handy. It can be. I know some pricier models that can store a hell of a lot more. This and a few personal belongings is about all I can store. I see. Wow, okay, that was pretty cool. Just don't grab it while it's in the axiom. It hurts like hell. Noted. As if I'll ever get one. Cooper sticks his key into another device. Looks like a rod with a port in it and walks up to the pod. If I could describe it, the pod looks like a big plastic egg with ridges along the side. Maybe a couple of feet taller than Cooper and I. Then Cooper sticks the rod into a hole on the side of the pod. There's a brief flash, and then the outline of a door frame starts to materialize. Before I know it, there's a normal enough looking door transposed onto the pod's surface. Ready? Sure. Whatever, I just want to go to bed. Cooper takes my hand gently and starts to open the door. Close your eyes as we enter and walk. It'll feel like a long hallway. I do as he says and walk with him. Okay. We walk for half a minute. I didn't really get the best look at it, but there's no way the inside of the pod is that big. Can I open my eyes yet? Sure. I opened my eyes for hopefully the last time tonight. We're in an apartment, I am assuming Cooper's. I take it that weird pod thing can transfer people to wherever you want? Ah, see, I knew you had a brain. This took a day for you to turn it on. Anyways, you said you only had 48 hours. Why? If we go over that, we won't be able to exit the front door back to where we started. Meaning we'd open the door and end up where I live, and that is way too far for us to travel to resume. I see. Can I go to bed now? I don't care. I look around. It's definitely small, but it's clear he tries to make the most of it. Can I use your bathroom? Cooper looks worried. About that. What? I ask impatiently. There's no running water here. Why? I'm not here often enough to justify it. I usually just stay in cheaper pods instead of transferring home. Cooper, when's the last time you showered or even took a bath? That is none of your concern. Jesus fucking Christ, whatever. How do you want me to pee? Just go in the bowl, it'll be fine for a day or two. Glad to hear it. It's down the hall. Got it. Oh my god. There's something wrong with that man. Whatever. Let's just urinate and go the fuck to sleep. Are they gonna sleep in the same bed? I spent a few minutes just trying to get sorted. Not being able to wash my hands was bad enough, but I guess I can't even brush my teeth. I chuckle. Yeah. Like that's something I should be worrying about right now. Ugh. I walk back to the living room. Cooper's nowhere to be found. I shake my head, trying to get rid of the headache I'm getting from being up this long. He's pissed, doggo, for real, for real. He must have gone to his own room. That's fine. He can give me the tour any other time. I don't even bother trying to turn the lights off. I'm that tired. The lone couch in the room seems like the best bet for tonight. As I walk up to it, I notice something. A folded blanket. Curious, I pick it up. Smells clean with a hint of what I think is vanilla. Guess that wolf can be considerate when the mood strikes him. I flop on the couch and take one of the only cushions as the pillow. One thing's for sure, this is better than sleeping in that alley. To my surprise, the lights start to dim. There must be some sort of sensor in the ceiling. I pull the covers over me, move my hair out of my face, and start to finally fall asleep. Something sizzling. Groggily, I sit up, trying to ascertain where it's coming from. I can hear it across the room. Sun is pouring in from the lone window. Guess it's morning. Well, morning. I groan as I stretch, my limbs popping far less than before, but still enough to catch Cooper's attention. Oh, morning. I yawn as I rub my eyes open. Yeah, figures. None of yesterday was a dream. Kind of surprised I didn't have any actual dreams last night, though. I wish I had a notebook to pencil down all my observations, but Cooper probably wouldn't know what that is. Guess I'll have to cope with a mental notebook. I get up and I stretch again before shuffling over to Cooper. He's manning a kitchenette corner. I didn't really notice it last night. Quite frankly, I didn't care. What time is it? About 9:30 in the morning. We got in around 4:30, I think. Not the best night. I don't have most of my memory, and I can say for certain that was one of the worst nights of my life. Cooper's frying something on something. He's using a frying pan for sure, but the stove looks weird. At least I think it's a stove. It has 4 solid red squares elevated from the rest of the stove. It's warm, though, even from here. Wait. So you have electricity but not running water? I have my priorities. Apparently. Hey, if I didn't have to buy every amnesiac I found a new outfit, I would be able to afford it. I groan. It's a good thing you don't have to. I'm joking. If you say so. He rolls his eyes and I do too. This is already getting old. Although the smell of what he's cooking catches my attention. It does kind of look like Spam. What are you cooking? Spam? Ah, that explains it. Wait, y'all got Spam here? Sure. He shrugs. Okay, maybe this isn't a dream. Maybe this is some sort of simulation. My eyes start to dart around to look at what's familiar and what isn't. Everything looks like something we'd have on Earth. You've never had Spam before? It's just like I don't know. Weird ham in a can. I place my hand on my back on those ports. You just woke up and you're already having a panic attack? Huh? Cooper huffs as he flips a piece of Spam. The brick of pork meat. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Very salty, if I remember. It's been like probably 25 years since I've had any Spam. I don't know how many canines you've been around, but your anxiety is easy to read, even a mile away. Relax. But Cooper places the spatula down and slowly holds my face to where eye level. You're going to be fine. No one is out to get you. Just relax and go with everything. This isn't what I was stressing about, but I play along. He already thinks I am crazy enough. Thanks, Cooper. I pause. But aren't there people actually out to get me? Oh, right. I'll handle them. You made Spam onigiris during your last con. Cooper picks the spatula back up and continues sauteing the Spam slices. Thanks, I guess. At least he's trying. Anyway, breakfast will be ready soon, then you'll need to stay here for the day. Why? I need to go out and get us some supplies and sell some stuff. Really that far away? Yeah, I'd like to avoid another day session in the pod, so it'd be best to get as much as we can on foot. Alright. I look around. Oh, what should I do? Nothing? You don't have to do anything? Well, can I do something? Like what? I don't know. I don't do well with just sitting and doing nothing. That's a first. Most people I bring along love to do nothing. Guess I'm not most people. Clearly. Plus, I do want to help pay you back for the clothes. Oh, for fuck's sake. I hope you're not going to be self-conscious about them. I bought them of my own volition. I know, but I still appreciate it. Cooper rubs the back of his head with his free paw. I mean, I guess you can clean up if you want. He pauses. Just try not to touch anything. He gestures vaguely. Weird. He can see my confusion. Okay. I'll put anything away that could hurt you. I'm not a toddler. Right, sorry. Forgot. Old man. That's not much better. Deal with it. He smirks before placing the Spam on some plates. I don't know why, but it feels unnatural seeing Spam here of all places. Regardless, I join him on his couch and we start to eat our second meal together. Oh, already on the second date? Once we're finished with breakfast, Cooper tells me to wait on the couch for a bit. Eventually, he comes out with crates similar to the ones back at the alley. Puts them in the living room. There are 4 in total. They are not huge, but they are not small either. Okay, there's nothing but junk in these. You can keep whatever you want or throw away whatever you don't want. Or throw away whatever you want. I don't really care. Thanks, I guess. If there's nothing but junk, then what use am I going to have for these? Are you just training me to be your dumpster diving assistant? What? No. He pauses. Anyway, it's about time I head out. You'll be gone most of the day, right? Yeah, probably until supper. I snort. Supper. What? Nothing. You just use a funny vernacular. Whatever. Cooper rolls his eyes before he grabs my jacket and his rifle. Before I leave, let me give you a proper tour of the place. I'll show you what to avoid too. Such as? Glad you asked. My room is off limits. Period. Oh, we're going to his room immediately. Fine by me. I'm almost scared to imagine the kind of mess his room is. Yeah. It's a very stinky room, I'm sure. As you can see, there's not much here in the living room. You can vacuum if you want. Carpet could probably use it. The kitchen corner is here. Let's see. Cooper flings open the fridge. It's filled with packages and produce I don't really recognize. Besides one big compartment of something that looks familiar. Are those mushrooms? Yeah, they are. You can have some if you want. Not really the biggest fan. So why do you have so much? This kind of keeps for a long time. Useful in a pinch. I got these 6 months ago, I think. Oh, that's handy. Just wish they tasted better. Cooper says with a grimace. Anyway, there's canisters of water in here if you get thirsty. Okay. Cold water actually sounds nice right about now. There's some other stuff you could eat. I'd say anything on the first two shelves would be fine, even without being cooked. Anything below there would probably upset your stomach. Noted. The room most likely smells like tin cans of Bounce That Ass. What else? There's the bathroom, which we've already been to, I think. Cooper gestures down the hall, leading to the bathroom. I went there last night, but I didn't get the best look. It wasn't very big, though, so I don't know why he's pointing it out on the tour. Toilet, sink, shower, all of which have no water. For now, I'll see about turning it on for tomorrow. I snap my attention to him. What? If you can give me a hot shower tonight, I will be yours forever. Ha! Who would want you forever? He smirks before pulling the shower curtain. There are boxes filling the tub. What's that? My ammo? Why do you keep gun ammo in your shower? Where else am I going to put it all? Oh my god. Cooper can see my dumbfounded expression and snort. I'm kidding. It's just more storage. I'm not here very often. If you can clear it out before I'm back, the shower is all yours. I start beaming. Now that's incentive. Deal. Try not to look so desperate. It's not an attractive quality. I'm sure you're quite familiar with unattractive quality. Cooper tries to roll his eyes, but I can see that smirk curling up. That's it for the tour. Do you have any questions or specific needs? I can immediately think of a dozen off the top of my head, but most are superficial wants rather than needs. I can think of a few if that's all right. Shoot. Can I get a toothbrush and toothpaste? I saw some in Cooper's bathroom, but I'd rather get my own if possible. Probably. I think I could do that. Anything else? Well, time limit, remember? Okay. I just wanted to know if you could get me a journal to write in. I can't afford to get you an Axiom. No, I meant like a physical journal with a pen and paper. You seriously don't write on paper, ever? Cooper raises a brow. I should have expected that. Not really. It's kind of wasteful, isn't it? I don't know what to say to that. What do you do when your Axiom loses battery? It doesn't. Huh? I've had it for a couple years and never needed to charge it. It's somewhat solar powered. How is that possible? Don't ask me. I didn't make it. Anyways. Alright. Could you try and find me a journal and pen? They have to sell them somewhere. I'll see what I can do. Why do you want them? Just to record my thoughts. Right. That's a completely normal thing to do. Anything else? No, not really. Honestly, if I can just get a shower tonight, I'll be content, but I won't let him know that. Alright then, I should get going. You sure you don't need me to do anything specific? Not really. No offense, but I don't think there's much you can do in your state. Just take a moment to rest. Alright, I'll certainly try. If you need to try to rest, you clearly have something to work on. I grimace. I feel like I'm being lectured by Diana. Time limit, remember? Yeah. He's leaving for real this time. It'll be the first time I've been on my own in all 12 hours I've been conscious. I have mixed feelings about it. Wait, there was one more thing. I'm taken aback as Cooper reaches for my head with his paws, gently placing them on my cheeks to tilt my head up. What the hell are you doing? Looking. I squirm a bit in his grasp. Dude. Stop whining, it'll only take a second. I roll my eyes as he inspects my head again. He lets go and circles around behind me. Tilt your head down a bit? I huff, but I do what he says. Easier to just go along with it than put up any sort of argument. To my surprise, he starts to unravel the bandages around my head. Some of my hair slumps down as if the bandages were a headband. What? Is it bad? No, I'd say you're healing fast. That's good. Indeed. Hang on, I'm gonna take a closer look. Before I can respond, I feel him parting some of my crusted hair. Thankfully, it still doesn't hurt. I wonder, should I ask him about that? If I could believe more than half of what he says, I'd try. Yeah, I think you'll be just fine. Thanks, Doc. Can you let go of my hair now? Cooper does, and I turn to face him fully. Was that really necessary? Second date, and we've already achieved housewife status. Nice, John. I still haven't gotten my Rappa. I can't decide if I want to spend money or not. We'll see. Kind of. I did need to check out the damage at some point. Wouldn't want my employer to think I hurt you on the way over. How nice of you. Cooper doesn't take the bait, but instead opens his Axiom window. He swipes to the inventory sphere screen and tosses the bandages aside. I'm surprised that it only takes a few seconds to digitize. I need to be careful getting rid of these. They could cause trouble. He swipes away the screen. He spent 30 on Rappa. Luckily, I know a guy. Yan Cheng didn't break my pity every fucking time I would have her. Alright, I'm leaving for real for now. Godspeed. I have half a mind to push him out at this rate. You sure you'll... I'll be fine, dude. Seriously, there's food and water. How bad could I screw this up? Cooper rests a paw on his chin and thought, oh my god, just go. You haven't logged in since the last update, the day of the last update? Yanqing stopped, but Welt is breaking your pity now. I wouldn't mind getting Welt. I mean, Yanqing, I think, is the worst unit of the game. I could be wrong, but I think is like the worst 5-star. And I have him at E4 now, which is annoying. Right, I'm off. I'll be back tonight. Remember to turn around and don't look at the doorframe as I leave. I turn on my heel, looking into the living room. Bye, Dad. Have a good day at work. If it's Daddy, you'd be happy. Yeah. He pats my shoulder before turning to the door. There's a brief flash of light, almost like someone took a photo. Then it's quiet. I turn around, completely alone. I give the loudest and longest sigh of my life as I spin myself around to flop right onto Cooper's couch. You're guaranteed Sunday, though? That's good. Finally, a moment to process everything that's happened. I give my eyes a really good rubbing, letting the colors swirl around my eyelid. What a weird day. I inhale one more time to ground myself. Alright, let's figure some shit out. I sit up and get myself together, briefly going over everything concrete. The alley, my memories, and Cooper. Someone left me in that alley, and I guess for at least a day or two. I wonder why they didn't come back for me. My memories come in at random times. Most are brief flashes. I thought sleeping would trigger longer memories, but last night I didn't remember anything. I hope they're not random. I'd like to find out a concrete strategy to get them back. As for Cooper, he's kind of an asshole. He's also taking care of me. I don't really know what to make of him. I still don't trust him fully yet because he's being way too secretive. The wolf has his moments though, I'll give him that. I look around his apartment, particularly at those crates. There's a chance something in there could be useful. He said it was mostly junk, but one man's trash is another man's treasure. Ugh, I'm already becoming a dumpster diver. I don't know how he lives like this. He clearly makes some kind of money. He tells me he's an escort, kind of. From the context clues, I'd say he's more of a mercenary, a desperate one at that. Taking a job to bring an amnesiac man home seems bottom of the barrel. I chuckle to myself over the absurdity of the situation we both found ourselves in. Then I stop and think about the situation itself again with more scrutiny. Cooper says he was able to find me from my blood, which I guess makes sense. He had his gun up, so maybe he thought an assailant was still around. This all happened a little too quickly, though. The more I think about it, the creepier the situation looked. Cooper was adamant about not being caught by guards. What would they be guarding? They weren't cops. If anything, it makes sense to take me to some type of authority. I get up from the couch and start to pace around the room as I get deeper in my own theorizing. Things aren't adding up right. I don't think he's lying to me, but he's obviously not telling me the whole truth either. He wants to take me to resume, but what the hell is that? Sanctuary for humans, he said. Whatever that means. Getting antsy again. What else do I know? The axiom. If I could get my hands on it, I could probably search for all sorts of things. Wait, no. Cooper says he'd need to register me in it. God damn it. My racing thoughts pick up along with my pacing. Wait, the axiom. He used that right after he found me. He got information from an employer, information about me. I stop in my tracks. Wait a second. That motherfucker. That asshole knows so much more about me than I do. I bet that son of a bitch even knows my name. I go from pacing to speed walking with rising annoyance. He has contacts who obviously know about me. How else would they identify me? Just a long, white-haired man with a lot of scars? Lots of people have scars. Cooper has scars, for God's sake. No, they had to have told him my name. Lots more about me. What's worse is that if I confront him, he'll just say it's classified. Imagine that. My own name being classified. I can't even be allowed that. God, what the fuck? My stamina starts to run out and I flop back onto the couch. I grab the cushion I was sleeping on the night before and just fucking scream into it. My little fit doesn't last long as I start to feel fatigue. I slump against the couch and laugh. Seriously, can't even tell me my own name. I sigh, feel defeated. Looking around, I feel some form of contempt for the wolf. I'm in his apartment, wearing his clothes, eating his food. At this point, I don't think it's hyperbole to say that he owns me. Part of me thinks I'm overreacting, but due to the fact that he knows more about me than I do, I think I deserve to get a bit upset. You know what? No, he can clean up his own shit. I'm tired and weak. I don't know why I offered to help him. I cross my arms and sit up on the couch. Then I take a look around. There's really not that much else to do around here. I tap my fingers on my knees. Tired as I am, I will admittedly be very bored just sitting around here. I so desperately want to take a nap, but if I'm going to fix my sleep schedule, I should try and stay up. Ugh. I resign myself to my fate yet again and make my way over to the crates Cooper left me. Okay, well, it's not like I'm doing this to help him. I'm doing this so I don't go crazy with boredom. I nod as if I have convinced myself. That aside, I inspect the crates. They look to be made of some kind of metal. Each one has a keypad on them, but the screens are all green. I assume that's because Cooper unlocked them. The ones in the alley looked similar too. Must be a common means of storage around. Poor human. Either that or Cooper just yoinked these and took ownership. Wouldn't be surprised. I huff at that wolf and his living habits. In any case, these should keep me entertained for the coming hours. Not really thinking too much about the order, I just pick up the first one on my left. The top pops open smoothly at the hinge. It kind of reminds me of a treasure chest. I'm a bit perplexed at the contents. Certainly not booty. I try to tip over the crate, but my arms aren't strong enough for that. Letting out a loud, annoyed groan, I scoop up a few things and lay them on the floor. They look like scraps of bigger pieces of technology. There are hunks of metal galore, and some pieces of tech I have no hope of comprehending. I'm starting to think I bit off more than I can chew. I can't really organize anything if I don't know what they are. Just kind of looks like junk to me. Cooper is starting to look less like a wolf and more like a pack rat too. I have to be careful moving these around. There are some sharp edges and exposed wires on some people. Guess he didn't think this through. For a moment, the thought of using one of these long shards as a weapon crossed my mind. I shake my head. As desperate as I am, I'm not that stupid. Cooper would easily overpower me. I have to wonder if I ever had experience in self-defense. Memory pops up in my head of Diana absolutely crushing me in an exhibition match she suggested. I guess not. I sort them into 2 piles, parts and devices. Parts is mainly junk, but who knows? Cooper might need them for something. Not that I'm doing for him, though, obviously. Ugh. Halfway through, I realize something. How am I going to organize these inside the crate itself? I can feel a headache on the rise. This is so stupid. I think that, but I keep going. You're going to head out to do some work before bed? Have a good night, Grizz. Thanks for hanging out with us and chilling. Hope your work goes well and hope you have a great weekend. At this rate, I'm almost looking forward to making it to resume. Probably more exciting than that. I chuckle to myself. I feel like a kid who was dropped off at an abandoned daycare. I'm nearly done with the contents of the box. As expected, most of it just looks like junk. However, something near the bottom catches my attention. I lean over to pick it up. This feels more like a tablet I would have used, albeit clearly differently. The screen itself looks more like a black border with a completely transparent middle. The buttons on the side are only part of the contraption that clue me in that it's some kind of screen. I shift to a crisscross position as I attempt to figure out how to operate it. Let's hope there's no passcode or anything. The buttons seem to work, but nothing pops up on the screen. Who knows when this was charged last? Now that I think about it, there weren't many cables or cords in this box. The device doesn't seem to have a port for one to be inserted anyway. How does it function then? I tap the screen mindlessly, trying to elicit some sort of response. What do I know about the technology? I know Cooper's axiom, but that's about it. Wait, his axiom? It's solar powered, he said, kind of, were his exact words. Maybe I just need to get up and walk to the only window in this place. Huh. Guess we're high up. Must be an actual apartment complex. I honestly thought this was some ground floor motel he found him. Using a side, I hold the tablet thing against the window for a moment. Nothing happens, and I start to get discouraged. But then it beeps and lights up. I nearly drop it. The screen itself is almost too bright. The screen adjusts soon after, easing up on my eyes. I stare at it for a while. Sure enough, it needs a passcode, but the background is what's captivating me. There are 5 figures on the screen. Cooper being one of them. Wow, this must be old. He looks almost happy. He's being held in a headlock by a bigger white tiger. Is that you, Honto? The tiger is also headlocking someone else, a human. He looks like a rowdy guy. There's a hyena on the right. She seems to be egging him on. Finally, on the very left besides Cooper, there's a deer shaking his head. Kind of dumbfounded. Cooper obviously had a life. I have to wonder what happened to it. I dare say he's blushing underneath that tiger's arm. Not that I blame him. He looks strange without his scars. This must have been from a while ago. Well, I guess this wasn't a total waste. I'm sure he'd be happy to have a memento like this. Water activated. I once again nearly drop the tablet as I hear something over the apparent apartment intercom. Wait, water? Activated? That means I can finally take a shower. I gently set the tablet on the windowsill to let it charge, then speed walk my way over to Cooper's bathroom. With a big smile plastered on my face. Gotta remove all the ammo, though. Took me longer than I would have liked to clear out all the ammunition Cooper stored in the bathtub. Seriously, if he's resorted to using his bathroom, I really have to wonder what he keeps in his room. Even though I've worked up a good sweat moving everything, I don't mind. I feel like I've accomplished something. Now that I have a working shower to myself, I could care less too. Inspecting the rest of the bathroom, there seems to be only towels. I hope they're washed. I am not going to risk smelling them though. Blech. Now that I think about it, most of this looks like stuff we had back home. The idea of this reality being some kind of simulation crosses my mind again. Funnily enough, that would be the most logical explanation for everything happening right now. Though I've given up on waking up, with some hesitation, I strip off my turtleneck, avoiding the mirror over the sink. Don't need any body dysmorphia right now. It's a shower, all right, but I'm not exactly sure how to operate it. The faucet for the bath looks normal, and so does the shower head. But there are no handles or dials. It's basically just a wall of tile. I try knocking against the tiles to see if anything happens. Nothing, obviously. Man, what the fuck? I finally get the chance to shower and I'm not even sure how to use it. Where's Cooper when you need him? Not that it happens often. Actually, I've needed him every step of the way so far, but that's beside the point. Wait, that's it. I should try to put myself in Cooper's shoes to see how he'd go about this. Even though he doesn't wear shoes. I'm distracting myself again. I need to figure out how this damn thing works. Cooper seems to use his axiom for everything. Maybe there's a piece of technology in here that operates the shower. I turn towards the sink, briefly getting startled by myself in the reflection. No shoes. I still look like bloody hell. Oh well. These kinds of casual encounters with my appearance should help elevate future. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I shake my head to focus once more, and then I look through some of the nearby cabinets. There are some things that look like toiletries, I think. Bottles and lotions. I guess those are also a universal concept. Some look like the canister Cooper kept his water in. Curious, I slide my finger at the top and smell the contents. It's kind of floral. I think it's shampoo. There's a decent amount in here. I could definitely use a bit for my hair. Would he miss it? Actually, I have to wonder if he knew he had shampoo in the first place. Well, that was a nice find, but I still need a way to operate the shower. Rifling through the rest of the cabinets is fruitless. Thought there'd be some deodorant somewhere, but I guess that's more of a human thing. With the shampoo being my only boon, I close the cabinets and turn around. I look towards the mirror, this time with confidence. I choose not to dwell on the reflection as I stick my hand under the mirror itself and pull. The mirror moves open like a door. Huh, that's pretty old-timey to have a medicine cabinet like that. Although I'm not sure exactly what constitutes as old-timey around here. Unlike the cabinets, this seems promising. There's yellow fur-covered brush, along with some toothbrushes. Sadly, just canine toothbrushes. I doubt they'd do me much. I don't even want to think about what canine toothpaste tastes like. Brushes aside, there's something that catches my eyes. It looks like a smartphone. I pick it up and try to fiddle with it while still being cautious. Wouldn't want it to blow anything up or something. To my surprise, it lights up almost instantly. If I'm right, it's exactly what I'm looking for. The screen has a gauge labeled water, along with a slider at the bottom set in the middle. Half blue, half red. Geez, these guys need tablets just to use their shower? I can't tell if that's bougie or just lazy. I pause. Probably both. Looking over the screen, it seems rudimentary enough. There's a big button that I'm guessing is the start button. As one does with big buttons, I press it. After a slight pause, the bathtub faucet starts pouring out water. I go to feel it and it's lukewarm. I slide the assumed temperature slider left and right to gauge the feel. It changes temperature pretty fast, that's kind of cool. Although, unless this tablet's waterproof, I'm not sure how you'd adjust it mid-shower. I decide not to test it just in case, and slide it to almost the end of the red slide. Steam starts filling the room as the faucet spews out hot water. There's another option that can be turned off and on. I tap it and the faucet stops before the shower head starts. Damn, look at that. Maybe I can be somewhat independent. I smile at my small accomplishment and set the tablet back on the sink. Once I get my pants off, I am met with my final nemesis. My underwear. Even in the dressing room, I didn't take them off. Unlike my face and chest, I'm not particularly nervous as to what I look like down there. I'm more curious than anything. With a half shrug, along with the increasing anticipation of the hot shower, I go for it and slide them off. Everything looks fairly normal to me. Disregarding the white hair. One last curiosity remains. I know I'm not hard, but I take my thumb and measure down to the tip. I'm bigger than I remember. I chuckle to myself before I finally enter the shower I've longed for. The thought crosses my mind due to the lack of pain. Some other senses might be dulled. Thankfully, that's not the case with hot water. This feels absolutely wonderful. 100% safe for work. I mean, as long as it's not on screen, that's fine. I could probably make it hotter, but even if I can't feel the pain, it wouldn't be good for my skin. Even so, I can practically feel the years melt away. I snort, sounding like the old man Cooper thinks I am. To be fair, Damien used to make fun of my lack of stamina even back then. But you want to see the naked bloop? Well, we're just a human, Tokyo, so you don't want to see this naked human. I sigh before shaking my head. As much as I miss him, I need to stay positive. I'll figure out a way back to him. One shower at a time. We're a human with like long white hair. That as we woken up, we're not sure how we have long white hair. It takes a while to dry all my hair after I exit the shower. That shampoo was also hard to rinse completely out, which makes sense. I should have used common sense and realized it was meant for canine. Oh, did we just use flea shampoo? We're Sephiroth. We do look like Sephiroth. But it was worth the effort. My hair feels silky and soft. We used horse mane and tail shampoo. And a lot more than that, but yeah, we're not furry ourselves. Yeah, we're just a human. Just a simple human here. I wrap the towel around my waist and stand up in front of the mirror. Not sure why I thought I'd look less weird with a head full of damp hair. I debate on using Cooper's fur brush, but decide against it. I'd rather not smell like him any more than I have to. After scooping up my clothes, I make my way back to the living room. Guess once I'm dry, I'll have to put these on again. That's kind of gross. I don't know how cartoon characters can wear the same clothes every day without incident. I set them on the armrest of the couch. The least I can do is let them air out a bit. I plop my skinny butt back on the couch and take a breather. Man, that shower took a lot out of me, but in a good way. It was a relaxing experience I desperately needed. I wish I had a hair tie or something though. Oh yeah, we're a twink, a mega twink. Yeah, we've wasted away. We look like Skeletor. My hair is almost dry, but still a bit heavy from the water. Not to mention my hair's making a bit of a mess, which I should have thought of. I get up from the couch and yeah, the back is a bit damp now. Oops. It'll probably dry by the time Cooper gets back. Wonder how he's doing. Hope he's okay. I grumble to myself. I guess I'm not so good at being independent yet after all. Takes about 20 minutes for me to dry off completely. Rubbing all my hair with the towel was kind of exhausting, and now I look extra fluffy. The temptation of using that dog's brush grows. I let it go. My hair will settle at some point, hopefully. Not wanting to get in my sweaty clothes quite yet, I opt to just wear my underwear for a little while. Cooper's not going to get back for a long time anyway. He's going to come back to us in our underwear! Once I give myself a good stretching session, I circle back to the remaining crates. The junk crate has been picked clean, with barely anything worthwhile in it. I'm both curious and skeptical about the rest. The thought crossed my mind that I could do Cooper's dishes for him now that the water's back on. The annoying thing is I actually like doing dishes, but I'm not giving Cooper any reason to talk down to me anymore. So instead, I set out to sort through his trash. Wow, this is really a lose-lose situation. At the very least, there's a chance I could find something useful. Just a chance, though. I sigh loudly before picking a crate to sift through. My surprise, it feels pretty light. I can move it around with ease and probably pour the contents out this time. Curious once more, I open the lid. It's full of clothes. Clothes I don't think Cooper would wear. My curiosity fades, being replaced with worry. Dumping the contents out on the carpet, I'm met with a mishmash of everything. There are even a few pairs of shoes. Okay, we're really going to have to talk about his hoarding habits. Sure, most of the trash is organized from what I've seen, but why keep the trash to begin with? I sift through the articles of clothing. It's kind of creepy. There are several pairs of pants along with a few pairs of shorts. He even has underwear in here. What the fuck? Wait a sec. Cooper said I could have whatever I find in these things. I'm sure that was some failed attempt at getting rid of some of this junk. But if there are actual clothes in here I could wear, then this might just be a treasure trove. Motivation is a hell of a drug, I think to myself as I start to organize all of the potential new outfits. Fashion montage time! I have everything neatly arranged on the floor in about 15 minutes. Sadly, most of the clothes look too big for me. I hate being such a twig. It doesn't help that some of these are clearly for certain species of beastmen. Still, I was able to salvage a t-shirt and a pair of shorts that don't look awful. I smell them and thankfully they don't seem like they've been worn much. Just a bit musty, which I can deal with. I wouldn't go out in public in something like this, but at the very least they'd make good pajamas. That outfit Cooper bought me is nice and all, but I'd rather not sleep in it. Too sweaty for my tastes. There doesn't seem to be a washer and dryer around here, so I should limit how much I wear my clothes. Once I get my makeshift casual outfit on, I decide to look through the shoes I found. There are 2 pairs of boots, some dress shoes, and sneakers. I don't exactly have very big feet. Considering how big most of the clothes were on me, I'm not getting my hopes up. Surprisingly, all but one of the pairs of shoes fit me well enough. Maybe a little tight on the dress shoes and a little big on the boots, but definitely wearable. The sneakers fit almost perfectly, although they're a bit dirty. Still, as much as I like the snazziness of the dress shoes, the dress shoes bring to the table, they wouldn't be a good idea for the long journey ahead. I'm not in a position to value style over functionality. The boots make some sense though. They provide some decent protection. From a comfort perspective though, I think I'll go with the sneaker. Maybe Cooper has an extra bag or something I could bring my own stuff in. Sad stuff being secondhand clothing and maybe a toothbrush. Still, it is nice to call some things my own. Even if they were kind of given to me, by a strange man no less. Regardless, it's a start. I fold all the extra clothes back up and lay them in the crate, instantly creating twice as much space in the thing. I know he's a hoarder, but this is ridiculous. Where does he even find this stuff? Maybe I should ask to go along on one of his dumpster diving adventures. We're playing Dress to Impress, but IRL. Then I could at least find that things are 100% mine. Although that would imply that I'd see him pass next week. Oh right. I'm here for only one reason, to get to resume. I chuckled to myself. Man, I am desperate. Once again, I caved to my desires to kill my boredom and decide to clean the dishes. Are there any choices in this novel, or is it just just a story? I'm just curious if we're ever gonna make a choice or anything, or if it's just a linear story. No choices, okay. Good to know. That's fine. I just wanted to know what to be prepared for. I give up on trying to convince myself that this isn't for Cooper. Mainly because it isn't. He's just lucky he has a bored amnesiac who needs to keep his mind busy. I'm not sure how he gets anything done around here. Where the Demon Lurks has choices. Okay, nice. I really am thinking about him a lot. I say putting down one of the freshly cleaned dishes. I guess that's somewhat reasonable. He's the only form of contact I have in this place. It makes sense that I cling to any sort of normalcy, especially considering how not normal some of the things around here are. Although that does beg a few questions. Why do some things seem familiar? The clothes I found, the food we've eaten, and even the appearance of this building and the furniture in it remind me of how things are in my own life. Well, from what I can remember, that is. Placing the last dish down, I reach behind my back and gingerly trace around the metal ports embedded in my spine. Maybe I'm not crazy, it's possible that this could be a simulation. Or rather, given the notion that I could have been attached to something with these things in my past life, could have been the simulation. There's nothing I can do to prove Damien or Diana exist after all. Despite it, I shake my head. I'm not letting myself spiral for a second time today. That's too real. They do exist. My love for both of them isn't something that I made up. The fact that they're all I remember at this point proves my relationship to them is strong. That's what I tell myself anyways. I take a deep breath to calm myself. In due time, I'm going to see them again. I know it. I take another deep breath, although it breaks into a yawn when I go to exhale. Who would have thought an apartment cleaning for a hoarder along with having multiple existential crises would make one so sleepy? Looking around, there doesn't seem to be any readily available clock. Cooper probably just used his axiom for that. In that case, I could just use the tablet I found. I'll need to ask him for the passcode. He did say I could have most of what I found after all. I might as well get some use out of it. Thankfully, the lock screen has the time on it. A little past noon. I've only been up for a few hours, yet I feel totally exhausted. You know what? Screw my sleep schedule. I'm tired, I deserve a nap. It feels like it's been forever since I've had one. And who am I to deny myself of one of life's simplest pleasures? Once I make my totally not bad decision of sleeping at noon, I rub my stomach for a second. I'm not hungry yet, I guess. I can't imagine I'll be out for that long. I was no stranger to eating lunch at 2 p.m. during my undergrad, after all. I remember when I told Diana that I considered 11:59 a.m. to be breakfast. Still, and she blew a gasket. It didn't help that I woke up 20 minutes before that, since I was... What was I doing? I can't have another inner monologue without getting stumped. Okay, that's enough distractions for one afternoon. I deserve a bit of R&R. I get myself comfy on the couch again. It's not super cold in the room, but I drape the blanket across my legs anyway. I'm still not sure if my body can regulate its own temperature. I'll need to test the limits of my sense of touch at some point too. But that can come later. For now, I drift off into a well-deserved nap. My eyes are closing. We're going to wake up to Cooper shaking us. I'm not sure how long I've been out. No more than a few hours. Even so, I'm starting to wake up. I think someone turned one of the lights on in the kitchen. So exhausted that I chalk it up to nothing but dream shenanigans. That's when I hear the sound of the door open, along with an irritating creak to go with it. I can't even flutter my eyelids open. I decide to say fuck it and drift back off to sleep. If I die, I die. Rusty. Hey. Hey, Cyrus, wake up. Just like that, the blanket I planted on my head to block out the extra light is torn right off. Oh, we're young again. Cyrus, what? My body aches as I'm forced out of my short slumber. That special kind of ache that makes you feel like you're in slow motion. Damien? What the hell? Don't you Damien me, mister. You promised you'd get up early with me to go running. I limply turn over and look at the alarm clock. It's 5:55 a.m. I said I'd get up at 6. Those extra minutes would have helped. Damien scratches the back of his head. Yeah, sorry about that. I guess I got a bit excited. I can hear his tail swish a bit. We haven't gotten to hang out like this in a while, so... I exhale with a smile on my face. I can't get mad at him for something like this. Cyrus. No worries. I just had a rough night of sleep. Too rough? Not rough enough to keep me from our date. Damien's ears perk up at that. He dons that big, goofy smile of his. I can barely see him in the moonlight, but he's as adorable as ever. He's so cute. Rough night for sure. Rough night. Although, if you want to make up for it, there's still 3 minutes before I promised I'd get up. Sleepily, I pat the extra space on the bed. Fine joining me, I could use some warming up now that someone snatched my blanket. Damien snorts at that before circling around to the other side of the bed. It would be my pleasure to be your body pillow this morning, Sai. Glad to hear it. Just know I intend to hit the snooze button at least once or twice. We were handsome, now we're Sephiroth. I guess I can let that slide just this once. We giggle as I invite Damien under the covers. Warm furs almost instantly pulls me back to sleep. But not before I feel his feline tail curl up around my leg. It's a habit he's picked up from our numerous cuddle sessions. Yeah, that snooze button is going to get a workout this morning for sure. Chapter 3!